And a court case may be looming between the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, over the forthcoming Anambra governorship election. INEC insists that APGA had been ruled out of the November 6 poll following the party's failure to comply with Section 85 of the Electoral Act. And this comes after the declaration of former Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Chukwuma Soludo as the winner of the factional primary organized by the Victor Oye-led faction of APGA in Anambra State. INEC's National Commissioner in charge of Publicity and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, said APGA did not notify INEC when it purportedly held its ad hoc Congress to elect delegates for the party's governorship primary. Let's now discuss this further. Anambra Guber, public affairs analyst and election observer who is keenly monitoring the preparations for the Anambra election, now joins us on the news via Skype. But unfortunately, I'm afraid Guber cannot join us via Skype because of network issues, so he joins us via telephone. Mr. Guber, thank you very much for joining us on the news. Now, this is certainly not good news for the ruling APGA in Anambra State. Now, help us understand these issues that INEC has just raised.
Okay, so thank you very much, and thanks for having me. 2 days ago, INEC came up to break the news that APGA, that the All Progressive Grand Alliance, was not going to participate in the election. And it was clear. What INEC had done was to quickly send a signal, because it's INEC's responsibility to monitor political parties. So INEC does have a department called the EPM, Election Planning and Monitoring. It's their duty to ensure that party primaries, congresses, or internal party elections conducted as political parties are monitored by INEC. The word monitor, or what you may call observe, by INEC is constitutional, it's legal, because the Electoral Act, as stated in the 85, Section 85, says that when a party is conducting any of their internal elections, even though the party is totally responsible for those elections internally, INEC must be present to see how the process is conducted, whether it is fair, whether it's credible, whether there's been some level of integrity. APGA, according to INEC, failed to notify the election management body of the date for that congresses that elected the ad hoc delegates. Who are the ad hoc delegates? Ad hoc delegates are those people that are elected ad hoc to just go and vote at the primary election level.
Sorry to cut you here, Mr. Guber, but where do you see all of these leading? I mean, we just saw it was yesterday. APGA, a faction of APGA actually announced Soludo as their flag bearer. So where does this lead? Do you think that another primary will be held by another faction of the party? Or where do you see all this taking us to ahead of the election?
Sure, another faction of the party will hold another party primary. However, in the eyes of the law, there are no factions in APGA. If you go on INEC website now, there is a list of National Executive Committee of APGA. Chief Victor Oye is the INEC recognized national chair. It is the part of the APGA group that conducted the election, the primary election, that saw Charles Soludo taking the ticket. So in the eyes of INEC, there is no faction. In fact, a few minutes ago, the chief public secretary to the INEC chair has even claimed that INEC has no business with disqualifying APGA. So we are not very sure of what the National Commissioner, Festus Okoye, made 2 days ago and what the Chief Press Secretary has just made talking to Nation's newspaper a few minutes ago.
Oh.
What I'm saying is, whether elected or not, this matter will go to court. The court will ultimately be the arbiter to determine whether Section 85 of the Electoral Act was abused by APGA, or that INEC does not have the power to determine when the party holds its ad hoc delegate election. So we expect that the matter will go to court.
I'm afraid I have to let you go here, Mr. Guber. Please, I have to let you go here. Thank you very much, Mr. Anambra Guber, for joining us on the news.